and welcome to Sports 360, your weekly dose of all big sporting events across the globe. All eyes of the cricketing fraternity will be on Sunday's blockbuster clash in Dubai when Virat Kohli's India lock horns with Babar Azam's Pakistan in the ICC T20 World Cup. We'll analyze the squads of both the teams and also take a look at their historic rivalry. The postponed fifth and final test match between India and England will be held at Edgbaston from July 1 to 5 next summer instead of its original venue at the Emirates Old Trafford, and will also determine the result of the series, with India currently leading 2-1. In UEFA Champions League, Cristiano Ronaldo's header completes a stunning comeback for Manchester United against Atlanta at rocking Old Trafford. Barcelona gained their first win in this season's Champions League after Gerard Piqué netted in a 1-0 victory against Dynamo Kiev. And Sunday brings the 247th official edition of El Clasico, the eternal rivalry between La Liga giants Barcelona and Real Madrid. This will be the first Clasico since Lionel Messi left for Paris. And apart from this, we also have our regular segments, Goal of the Week, Player of the Week and the Sporting Moments of the Week. But first up, the core story you are tracking this week. The ICC events are the only opportunity for the arch-rivals India and Pakistan to pit their might against each other on a cricket field. But even in these contests, which are far and few, the intensity of both the teams has been high. India had dominated the rivalry in the T20 World Cups just as they have in the 50-over World Cup and have won all the 5 encounters so far. Here are all the India versus Pakistan matches played in ICC Showpiece T20 tournament till date.
Group match 2007 T20 World Cup, India beat Pakistan via bowl out. The high voltage match at Durban ended in a tie as Pakistan failed to overhaul India's total of 141 despite having 3 wickets in hand. The tiebreaker in the inaugural tournament was a bowl out instead of the super over. The Indians hit the stumps at will while the Pakistanis failed, and that gave MS Dhoni's young team a shot in the arm. India beat Pakistan by 5 runs in the final of 2007 T20 World Cup. The two teams clashed in the final again, and it was equally mouth-watering as was the group stage clash. Gautam Gambhir and Rohit Sharma powered India to a competitive 157 for 5. Pakistan looked on track to chase the target down, with Misbah-ul-Haq playing the sheet anchor's role. But a horrendous lapse in judgment saw Misbah go for a ramp shot in the final over, which ended up being caught and triggered a huge renaissance in Indian cricket under the leadership of MS Dhoni. Super 8's 2012 T20 World Cup, India beat Pakistan by 8 wickets. The two rivals clashed in the Super 8s of the 2012 tournament held in Sri Lanka. This was a one-sided affair as the Pakistanis were bowled out for 128, with Lakshmipati Balaji picking up 3 wickets for India. Virat Kohli made short work of the chase with an unbeaten 78 of 61 balls. India beat Pakistan by 7 wickets in Super 10's 2014 T20 World Cup. India continued its vice-like trip on this rivalry as they made mincemeat of Pakistan's challenge yet again, this time in Dhaka. The Pakistanis managed to score only 130 for a loss of 7 wickets in their 20 overs. India chased the target down with 9 balls to spare in yet another one-sided contest. India beat Pakistan by 6 wickets in Super 10's 2016 T20 World Cup. It was expected to be a blockbuster clash at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata, but rain played spoil sport at the start. The match was reduced to 18 overs and the Pakistanis managed to score 118 runs in a stop and start innings. Pakistan made a strong start with the ball and reduced the force to 23 for a loss of 3 wickets before Virat Kohli stamped his class on the match. He scored an unbeaten 55 of 37 balls to single-handedly decimate the arch rivals all over again. Sports Desk, DD India.
Every fan is a selector when it comes to Indian cricket, and there is bound to be a lot of noise every time when the selection committee picks up a squad for the mega event. Here, let's take a look at the India's 15-member squad for the World T20. And here is the picture in front of you. Virat Kohli is captain, Rohit Sharma is there. KL Rahul, a top order, is the batting heavy, and they have world-class batsmen. If you take a look at their stats since 2016 T20 World Cup, they have made, all of these top 3 batsmen have made more than 1,500 runs for India. And the Surya Kumar Yadav, Rishabh Pant and Ishan Kishan, a great middle order. All the batsmen are capable of hitting big runs there. Hardik Pandya at number, you can say that one of the best player at the number 6. Ravindra Jadeja, Deepak Chahar. The bowling unit is like this. R. Ashwin, a surprise pick for this edition of the tournament. And Shardul Thakur, Varun Chakrabarti, the mystery spinner. Varun and Jasprit Bumrah, one of the best bowler in the world right now. And Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Mohammad Shami. Unpredictability is the word that always associated with the Pakistan cricket team. They have been a side that has won matches single-handedly, at the same time also lost a few games from winning position. Here, let's take a look at the Pakistan squad ahead of the marquee clash against India. The squad is like this: Babar Azam, captain; Mohammad Rizwan, a stupendous 2021. He has scored a lot of runs in this year. And Fakhar Zaman is there, Haider Ali, Mohammad Hafiz and Shoaib Malik, that brings experience to this Pakistan team. Asif Ali is there, and Mohammad Nawaz, Imad Wasim, the spinners, Shadab Khan, and both the spinners, they can bat also for Pakistan. And Mohammad Wasim is there, Sharfaz Ahmed is there, Haris Rauf, the pace battery, Hassan Ali, a much improved, we can say the rise of Hassan Ali in the recent times, and the Shahid Afridi. Their pace battery looks quite good here. Now, India, one of the favourites to lift the T20 World Cup title, will not take the men in green lightly, having suffered a shocking loss against them in the ICC Champions Trophy 2017. Ahead of the high voltage contest, here are 5 players to watch out for.
Virat Kohli, it's his last chance to win a T20 World Cup as the captain of the Indian men's cricket team. The king, as he is fondly known, might be still searching for another 100, but we all know his record in big matches. Against Pakistan, Kohli has already played some memorable knocks, and the swashbuckler could be raring to get India's campaign off to a brilliant start by producing a big knock against the men in green. Babar Azam, he is to Pakistan what Kohli is to India. Time and again, he has been compared with the Indian captaincy, courtesy his huge success across 3 formats of the game. Azam certainly remains to be one of the hottest properties in world cricket, and the onus would be on him to tackle India's world-class bowling attack. Rohit Sharma, he is one of the most consistent openers in world cricket, one of the most prolific openers in white ball cricket. Rohit would be high on confidence after having proved his mettle in whites as well. While Kohli takes the centre stage at every mega event, it's the hitman who has demolished the best of bowling attacks with his unmatchable batting style. In the 2019 World Cup, he was in red-hot form as he smashed a record 5 centuries in cricket's biggest event. Pakistan would certainly be wary of the damage this man can cause at the top of the order. Fakhar Zaman. Indian fans will never forget what Fakhar Zaman did with the Indian bowling attack in the ICC Champions Trophy 2017 final. It was one of the most sensational knocks by an opener in the final of a high-profile event. Initially, he was not a part of Pakistan's preliminary World Cup squad and was later added to the squad. Zaman would want to make the most of the opportunity. Jasprit Bumrah, while the focus on the upcoming India-Pakistan contest will be more on several world-class batsmen, if there's one bowler who is expected to light up the contest, it's Jasprit Bumrah. Bumrah has been one of the reasons behind Team India's consistent performances in all 3 formats of the game. How far India can progress in the tournament will depend a lot upon how Bumrah performs in the tournament. Sports Desk, DD India.
India and Pakistan have faced off in the ICC event 17 times, and out of those, India has won 14 matches. 1992 World Cup, India won the match by 43 runs at the Sydney Cricket Ground, and in 1996 World Cup quarter-final match, India won by 39 runs at Bengaluru. 1999 World Cup, India won by 47 runs at Manchester, And in 2003 World Cup, India won by 6 wickets, a clean record. India unbeaten. And after that, in 2004 Champions Trophy, Pakistan won by 3 wickets. First time here Pakistan won against India in any ICC event. And after that, in 2007 World Cup, no one can forget that World Cup. India won the match in bowl out by 3-0. Actually, this match was tie, and India won it in a bowl out. And after that, in 2007 final, the inaugural, India won by 5 runs. No one can forget that match. In Champions Trophy, Pakistan won by 54 runs at Centurion. In 2011 World Cup semi-final, India won by 29 runs. In Birmingham 2013 Champions Trophy, that India won by 8 wickets. This was the last time India won ICC, major ICC trophy. And in 2014 World Cup, India won by 7 wickets in Dhaka. And in 2015 World Cup, again India won by 76 runs at Adelaide. In 2016 World Cup, India won by 6 wickets at Kolkata. And in 2017 Champions Trophy, India won by 124 runs in Birmingham. And in 2017 Champions Trophy final, India lost to Pakistan by 180 runs at Oval. And in the last encounter between the two teams was in 2019 World Cup, where India won by 89 runs at Manchester. So a great record by the Indian team against Pakistan. It is 14-3 in the ICC major event. But if we talk about the World Cup, whether it is 50 over or 20 overs, India have never lost a match against Pakistan. Now, moving to the next story, the measure of great player is the ability to perform on the biggest stage, and in T20 cricket it does not come any bigger than the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. Over the course of previous 6 editions, there have been many stunning individual performances. Here, let's take a look at the 10 players who have had a huge impact on the history of the tournament with their consistent excellence.
Shahid Afridi, Pakistan, 39 wickets, 546 runs in 34 matches. The greatest wicket taker in the history of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup, Pakistan's Shahid Afridi is one of the poster boys of the format, capable of having an impact with the bat and the ball. His crowning achievement came in 2009 when he inspired Pakistan to the title, earning the Player of the Match honours for his performance in the 8-wicket win over Sri Lanka in the final. In that game, Afridi took 1 for 20 with a miserly spell before hammering an unbeaten 54 off 40 balls to see his side home. His 39 wickets are the most of any player in the tournament, while he is just outside the top 10 all-time run scorers with 546, and only Tilakaratne Dilshan has played more than Afridi's 34 matches. Shakib Al Hasan, Bangladesh, 567 runs, 30 wickets in 25 matches. The only player on this list who has not reached at least the semi-finals of the competition. It is mark of Shakib Al Hasan's achievements that he has been so successful despite playing in a struggling side. One of just 8 men who will be playing in 2021, having also featured in the inaugural tournament, Shakib has been one of the greatest all-rounders in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. He joins Afridi as the only players to have scored at least 500 runs and taken 30 wickets in the tournament, and if his performances in England 2 years ago are anything to go by, his taste for the big occasion is only increasing. Samuel Badri, West Indies, 24 wickets in 15 matches. Not quite as prolific as some players on this list, but West Indian spinner Samuel Badri had a remarkable impact on the competition between 2012 and 16. In tandem with Sunil Narine for the first 2 of those tournaments, Badri showed just how dangerous spinners can be in T20 cricket, opening the bowling for the West Indies. His bowling average of 13.58 is the best in the tournament's history, while an economy rate of 5.52 is second only to Narine. When you consider those figures, it is no surprise that West Indies enjoyed great success during that period, with Badri crucial to the triumphs in 2012 and 2016. AB de Villiers, South Africa, 717 runs, 30 catches in 30 matches. AB de Villiers will go down as one of, if not South Africa's greatest player across all 3 formats, and he's certainly shown on the global stage in ICC Men's T20 World Cups. His 717 runs are good enough for 5th all-time, and of that top 5, only Chris Gayle has a better strike rate than de Villiers, 143.4. Of course, the Proteas superstar offered more than just his batting. Whether it was as a wicketkeeper or just an outfielder, he influenced the game like few others. De Villiers' 23 catches as an outfielder are 8 more than anyone else in the tournament, with 7 more and a pair of stumpings when he had the gloves on. Tilakaratne Dilshan, Sri Lanka, 897 runs in 35 matches. The 2021 ICC Men's T20 World Cup will be the first tournament in which Tilakaratne Dilshan will not feature, having played more matches than anyone in the competition's history. The Sri Lankan great sits third all-time in terms of runs scored, that is 897, and also contributed to the addition of a new word to cricket's lexicon and a new shot to a batter's armoury, with the Dil scoop that he mastered in 2009. He was outstanding in that tournament, including an unbeaten 96 in the semi-final against the West Indies, as he made 317 runs to be named the player of the tournament. The fact that Pakistan removed him for a duck is probably a big factor in why Sri Lanka lost the final. Chris Gayle, West Indies, 920 runs in 28 matches. The man born to play T20 cricket, Chris Gayle, has made the format his own, and the universe boss will look to make it a hat-trick of titles in the UAE and Oman. Curiously, Gayle has scored 3 and 4 in the 2 finals he has played so far, but the Windies have won them both anyway. In the other 26 matches he has played, he has racked up 913 runs, second only to Mahela Jayawardene. By the end of the 2021 tournament, Gayle will hope to have joined Jayawardene in the 1,000-run club. As destructive as they come, Gayle has smashed 66s in the tournament, nearly double the next most from Yuvraj Singh with 33, and is the only player to have notched 2 ICC Men's T20 World Cup centuries. Mahela Jayawardene, Sri Lanka, 1,016 runs in 31 matches. No one has scored more runs at ICC Men's T20 World Cups than Sri Lankan great Mahela Jayawardene, the only player to have topped 1,000 runs in the tournament. He played in every competition from 2007 to 2014, bowing out in style as he helped Sri Lanka claim the title in his final appearance. In that match, he made a runner ball 24 as Sri Lanka chased down India's total of 130 for 4 to win the tournament for the first time, becoming the first player to make it 4 figures in the process. Among other highlights, he enjoyed a purple patch at the 2010 T20 World Cup when he scored 81, 100 and 98 not out in 3 successive innings as Sri Lanka reached the semi-finals. Virat Kohli, India, at 777 runs in 16 matches. The list of candidates for the best player never to have won the ICC Men's T20 World Cup starts and ends with Virat Kohli. The Indian skipper averages an absurd 86.33 in the 16 matches he has played, with a half-century in more than half his innings. Kohli has been as consistent a player as the tournament has seen. He has been named the player of the tournament in each of the last 2 editions of the competition, averaging more than 100 in both editions, while his lowest score in a knockout game is the 72 not out he scored against South Africa in a semi-final win in 2014. Lassit Malinga, Sri Lanka, 38 wickets in 31 matches. The most prolific wicket-taker in the history of T20 internationals, Lassit Malinga is second only to Shahid Afridi at the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. The master of the Yorker, Malinga was the ultimate death bowler, capable of crushing toes and splaying wickets in the deciding moments of matches. It is also a testament to his importance within the Sri Lankan team that Malinga was captain of the side that won the title in 2014 in a squad featuring the likes of Mahela Jayawardene and Kumar Sangakkara. 580 runs in 15 matches. In the vein of Samuel Badri, Kevin Pietersen's influence on the tournament was relatively short, but his star shone incredibly bright, the driving force behind England's march to glory in 2010 in the Caribbean. Pietersen's 580 runs in just 15 innings is a phenomenal return. Only Kohli and Mike Hussey averaged more than Pietersen's 44.61 by players with at least 10 innings, and his strike rate of 148.33 is the best of anyone in the top 10 all-time run scorers. He also has the silverware to go with it, being named the player of the tournament as an aggressive England side powered their way to the title. He scored 248 runs in that tournament, capping off a run of 3 editions in which he was England's most devastating batter. Sports Desk, DD India.
The postponed fifth test match between England and India will be played at Edgbaston from 1st to 5th July next year. The series decided due to be held at Emirates Old Trafford in September was called off after India withdrew over COVID-19 concern. The rearranged test will count towards the outcome of the series, which India lead 2-1. Old Trafford will replace Edgbaston as the venue for the second test between England and South Africa in August. India are scheduled to play 3 T20s, 3 one-day internationals in England in July. The T20 series will start 6 days later than originally planned on 7th July, and the ODI series will get underway on 12th of July. Cristiano Ronaldo's soaring header completes a stunning comeback for Manchester United against Atlanta at rocking Old Trafford. Barcelona gained their first win in this season's Champions League after Gerard Piqué netted in a 1-0 victory against Dynamo Kiev at Nou Camp. Elsewhere in Group E, Bayern Munich hit Benfica with 4 late goals to seal an emphatic win in Portugal. More in this Champions League wrap.
Cristiano Ronaldo headed the winner 9 minutes from time as Manchester United came back from 2 goals down to record a memorable Champions League triumph against Atlanta at Old Trafford. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side had been booed off at the break. Such was the lack of invention they showed in falling behind to goals from Mario Pasalic and Merih Demiral. But the jeers turned to cheers as United, roared on by an increasingly frenzied crowd, rallied to complete one of their great European victories. Marcus Rashford reduced the deficit with an excellent finish 8 minutes after the restart before skipper Harry Maguire drove home after being left free at the far post to get on the end of Edinson Cavani's flick. But inevitably, it was Ronaldo who won the game, just as he did 3 weeks previously against Villarreal. Gerard Piqué scored Barcelona's first Champions League goal this season as Ronald Koeman's side beat Dynamo Kiev 1-0 to end their losing start to Group E. Piqué volleyed in a superb opener from Jordi Alba's cross as the hosts found the net in Europe for the first time in more than 4.5 hours. Barcelona were comfortable, if not clinical, and success keeps their hopes of reaching the knockout stage alive. They sit third, 1 point behind from Benfica, who play Bayern Munich later. Chelsea put the Champions League campaign back on course by thrashing Malmo at Stamford Bridge, but it was a victory at a price as strike duo Romelu Lukaku and Timo Werner suffered injuries. The holders lost their last game against Juventus in Turin, but there was no mistake here as the Swedes were completely outclassed. Bayern Munich scored 4 goals in the final 20 minutes to beat Benfica and move 5 points clear at the top of their Champions League group. Leroy Sané got 2 goals, opening the scoring with a brilliant free kick before firing home a 4th. Everton had headed a cross into his own net for Bayern's second, and Robert Lewandowski's tapped in a 3rd. But the floodgates opened for Bayern after Sané's excellent 70th minute free kick as the dramatic finish left Benfica stunned. The results means Bayern top Group E with 3 wins from 3. Sports Desk, TD India.
He has done it again. Cristiano Ronaldo continues in fantastic form as he got on the score sheet again for Manchester United. This time his header gave his side a win against Atlanta, and this is Sports 360 Goal of the Week. FIFA President Gianni Infantino said that he wanted to see consensus over plans for a biennial World Cup and changes to the international match calendar after facing fierce criticism from European Federation. FIFA's ruling council agreed to hold a global summit on December 20 to discuss the proposals for World Cup to be held every 2 years rather than every 4 years.
You know, if this is the end point, then obviously there will be no consensus. But if this is the starting point, then we have to see how we can approach the different opinions and the different parties. And to do that, we need to do, as FIFA as well, our part of the job. We need to finalize our feasibility study. We need to look at the sporting merits, at the economic merits, And then we can have a reasoned discussion rather than an emotional discussion about World Cups every 2 years, other types of competitions, what kind of events we can create to make football better and so that everyone can benefit. So I don't know what the ultimate result will be. We have been asked by the Congress to make a study on a feasibility study on World Cups every 2 years and some other matters. That's what we are doing, and at the same time we englobe and include the feedback of everyone and we try to come up with something good.
That's all in this edition of Sports 360. Before we wrap up, we leave you with these stunning images of the indoor skydiving which thrills visually impaired adventurers. Namaskar.